Let's get started.
Hey everyone, welcome to Adelante with Arlene. I'm your host, Arlene. Recently, I had spoken to you all and shared with you something very personal about my diagnosis with breast cancer that I found out in January. The reason I want to share with you all, whether you are male or female, we all go through things in life and we go through some heavy duty traumatic things in news, health issues as it's happening to me that's unexpected. And of course, the first thing that pops up, which was the same for me immediately, was fear. Fear. Fear because there's things in our lives that we have no control of. And when we get a diagnosis, there is always hope, I want to tell you. But the first thing you think about is fear, because there's fear of the unknown. Fear because there are things that we can't fix ourselves per se, or cure ourselves. How's that? So today I wanted to update you. The last time I spoke to you, I told you it was a diagnosis. I was going to go through various tests, had gone through a biopsy on the left breast, and now I just this week had to have some news given to me that I mentioned to you, really just like knocked me down. And the news was that I needed to have chemotherapy first before any double mastectomy. That is something that's been heavy on my mind because I'm very holistic and natural. And I try my best to eat as I should, as I am working harder now to be more stricter. Because I do believe that a lot of this, for me, it wasn't genetic, even though it just wasn't genetic. I was tested. For me, it is because I truly believe that what's in our foods, because I've studied through the years about it, what we intake, our environment, what we put in our food, has a lot to do with these things happening to so many people. So that whole conversation about chemo really knocked me off my feet, especially when this week, February 4th, I had to go under surgery to literally put in under my skin, uh, about right here. I had to, under my skin, had put in the port where obviously, the IV and the chemotherapy will be plugged into. Weirds me out because it's under the skin. And that was a heavy duty day, a heavy duty um, sedative day. It took me like about a day and a half to like kind of become more coherent. Uh, Not so comfortable, obviously, after the surgery. And well, it becomes frightening. How do I manage? It was just this week. The way I try my best to manage is to keep my hope in the Lord, be informed, listen to what I'm being told in regards to the science or what's going on, understand that many others have gone before me and have survived and have continued to thrive in their lives. So there's hope because my stage is a lower stage, but still that whole chemo thing, doesn't make anybody happy. Then that was on Tuesday. Today, Friday, I had to have another biopsy, but this time of my right breast, and it is called an ultrasound guided biopsy. Can't begin to tell you. You just start feeling like a little cushion that's being cut up, and we will have to test that tissue, well, the pathology department, and hope and pray that the mass that's there is not cancerous. The left one, it is cancerous. So it takes a lot of strength and it takes a lot of support, not these poor me or bendito bendito. And I am blessed to have a wonderful, God fearing, God loving people in New York as well as out of New York that are praying for me and have faith in God and that have also been through a lot. And many have actually survived and are thriving and have overcome, and they're in remission when it comes to cancer diagnosis. So there's always hope. I also have a great support group from just the freestyle community per se. I mean, the fans. and some of the freestyle singers, as well as my family, of course, my husband, most of all, and lots of people on my social media on Facebook that may not talk to me frequently, but when they saw that I was diagnosed with breast cancer, I want to thank you all, they put loving comments. Because listen, what you don't want to hear is my friend died from that, or you don't want to hear anything that's negative. Because you see, every situation is different. Every person's walk with cancer is different. Every diagnosis, as it is for was for one of my family members, is not necessarily the same exact journey because we're all created uniquely, and therefore there are different levels of how things need to be done from person to person. I wanted to also let you know something that has frustrated me forever. Many of you know about this frustration, and that's the healthcare. Um, I pay for insurance, and I have good insurance for my job. But there'll be institutions, as the one that I happen to be going to with great doctors, and that might be out of network. And I tell you, they love to not send in the claims, to deny you that they're going to send in the claims because they say you are out of network. But really, you have to fight for yourself. Why? Because those claims need to be sent in. So when there's a denial, you'll be able, like this hospital that I'm at, to sign up for some financial assistance. It's a game that is played between, you know, the insurances and the facilities. And you need to learn more. I know about insurance because I did insurance many years in my life before there was even computers, and I was working doing this. I know the language, I understand it, and the whole business of what goes on. You have to be your best advocate. You have to inform yourself about what is out there to help you. Never take for face value what someone else tells you in regards to how in the institution per self that you're going to be treated, because everybody has a place in that institution. The administrative girl at the desk, or the one that's admission, she doesn't know about insurance. No, the insurance department knows, but they get guidelines from those people on top that are running this institution, and therefore they're the ones that are just the mouthpiece of what is being told. I have gone and I had to fight for an MRI recently, last month, and I fought for that MRI that I knew they can get an authorization for me from my insurance. And it wasn't until the same exact day. I'm telling you, whatever place you're going to, whatever hospital, whatever place, not only look into it in the benefits department of your insurance, but also try to get yourself an advocate, someone who can speak up for you in that insurance company. And also make sure that you speak up for yourself and fight to the end, and find out at the hospital, at wherever it is, the medical institution, because it has to be a hospital when you're doing things of such serious nature. Images here, and surgeries here, and anesthesiologists here, and all that kind of stuff. Find out where is their financial help department, because many hospitals, even here in Florida, with the one I'm talking about, has a charity, people that donate and can help. And that is the biggest frustration, that when you're not feeling well, you get bombarded with these, we don't take this or we don't take that. Well, you know what? If you know about your insurance, then you know how it's supposed to work. And I went today and they said, oh, well, you will need to pay this. And I said, no, I do not need to pay that. What I say to you is bill me. Oh, well, I can't change anything around here. I sat myself down, and in about 10 minutes, I was called in. Why? Because they talked to their supervisor. And yesterday, I spent hours at a financial department there, and I spoke to them about this nonsense and runaround that I'm getting. Speak up for yourself, but you got to know the truth before you go there and speak. In kindness and love, in intelligence, and just do it, because people in these places will take advantage. Take advantage. I was being told, and still being told, that I cannot get my chemotherapy at this hospital, where yet I can see the breast surgeon because she is under my plan. Why? Because I am out of network. How can I fix that problem? Well, There are doctors, oncologists, and other doctors that have, what can I say, privileges at other hospitals, and they may be from one institution, one hospital, and yet they can also see patients at another hospital. So I made it a point to set myself an appointment with an oncologist that I had seen years ago that is under my plan, yet not associated in a sense of seeing me and have his office at the hospital in which I've been had the surgery and all that. And now it is that I can have my chemotherapy in that location with that oncologist because he's a hematologist oncologist, and still have my breast surgery in the future with the other hospital that wasn't taking me for the chemotherapy. Do you know what it is to sit there and somebody tells you your insurance is not going to pay, that they don't even bother sending it in for a denial? And you know why? Because they jack up the price. Even if they do send it, they'll send you your bill. And then the bill will say how much insurance. But they've jacked up the price because they didn't like the fact that if they took my insurance, they would have to have had a lower rate that they would have had to incur and collected. Listen, be better informed, because when we're sick, we don't want to be dealing with this. So inform yourself now, not because I'm saying you're going to be sick or something big is going to happen. In life, we never know. I'm saying inform yourself now about what your rights are, what your benefits are, and all that, so that you can intelligently have a conversation with someone and tickle their ear in a way that they realize that something is not right here. And then it goes up to the chain of command. And still prepare yourself and find a place still while you're doing that you can actually be made well. How's that? Listen, bills will come. Your health is important. No one else is going to look out for you except you, yourself. And for me, as a believer of Christ, and if you believe in God, God looks out for you. So I prayerfully know every time I'm going for something, there's always lately and I prepare myself the best I could for that. And I stress sometimes. But when I started this whole process, I spent 3.5 hours and I refused to leave another place that I just had to have a test, because I knew that all I had to pay on that first start at the beginning of January was my deductible. And I knew that my insurance was going to be accepted in that imaging center. And I waited 3.5 hours for them to say what I already knew. You have to fight for yourself. It's your health. Do so prayerfully and wisely. Know that when we speak so much about the illness itself, we get consumed with worry. We get sicker than we need to get. But when we trust in God and have that support group and surround ourselves with only people who lift us up, we're not in denial of what's going on. But it doesn't mean it's doom and gloom. The hope and the strength is what's going to get us to the other side and to overcome. So stay tuned for more. I am about now next week to get my results of the biopsy, hoping and praying that the right breast does not have any cancer. I'm praying for that. And then I am ready to, do something that is a little scary for me, and that is take that chemo. That is how it is going to be. I need a lot of prayers and I need a lot of strength. And I will lose my hair. And I'm getting ready for that too. So remember, stay encouraged. Sigue adelante. Please remember, you need a support group and a help. And inform yourself about your insurance. And never, never, never lose hope.
Sigue
As
adelante.
I say at the end of every podcast and every video, sigue adelante. Until next time.
Thank you for tuning in to Adelante with Arlene. Don't forget to subscribe to Adelante with Arlene and share. Share my videos and inspire someone else.